Hiker Jay here. This week I'm down in the Carolinas and I'm testing out a refrigerator for your vehicle or for camping or whatever it might be. This is going to become my primary refrigerator in my Jeep, but I'm taking a trip with the family. I thought it's a perfect way to test this out. Of course, we're from Michigan. We drove down to the Carolinas, used it all, the whole drive down. So today I'm going to walk you through the build, the features, everything, and my final thoughts on it. Let's get into it. So in full disclosure, Newair did send me this to test out and share with you, so I wanted you to know that. And as always, if you're interested in one, the links will be down below so you can find it there. So first off, this is the 48 quart and got it pulled out a little bit, but it pushes all the way in and sits there perfectly in the back of like a Journey here, but it also fits in the back of my Jeep, like right behind the driver's seat, which is what I really wanted for all my traveling. But it is made to be moved around with the handle and the wheel, so we're gonna pull it out of here. But first I wanna show you what we do when we're traveling. We're able to do that and then open it up and get into it and close it and roll it back in. That's worked out really nice. We went the entire drive without stopping at a single restaurant or fast food. We had sandwiches in here, cut fruit, everything you can think of for an entire day where we didn't spend any money or time stopping to eat on the road. It was pretty great. So as you can see, you can lift this up and put it up here pretty easily, easy to transport. Once it's full of food, it gets quite a bit heavier. I love this size. Now they have an 80 quart too, so you can check it out as well. But today we're gonna be talking about this 48 quart. So let's talk quick about the power. So the power plugs here, you can use shore power or you can use 12 volt. So I was using 12 volt the entire time going all the way down here, and you can hook it to your car when it's driving. One thing they do have is this battery port right here. I don't have one, but I absolutely want to get one. So they can have a battery backup system here where it can run on its own, saying we want to take it down to the beach, and then you could, it would be running the whole time on the battery. I think that's a really sweet option. The last thing is the solar plug. So you can get solar panels or use solar panels to plug into here and power it as well if you're on the beach or something. So that's really the power options that you have. 12 volt, shore power, solar power, or a battery system. I just really like the flexibility of all those options. All right, continuing our walk around before we get inside it, I left the sticker on because it actually vents out this side, and there is warm air that comes off that compressor when you're running it. So you do want to make sure that you don't put something up against that in your car. Now let's talk about the compressor. You can barely hear it. It's running right now. Get my mic up there. Not sure if you can even hear it. I have this plugged in the house in the kitchen for quite a while too before we left, just to get it up and cool, and could not even hardly hear it unless you were like right up to it and picking it up. So like sitting at the kitchen table, couldn't hear it at all. That's pretty good for a compressor because it's in your car and you don't want something loud kind of humming the whole way while you're driving. So continuing to work around, it does have these handles that pull out and lock in when they're in like that, but I actually took them off to fit them in my Jeep, so that's kind of cool. You just unscrew those. It has a lid that's completely reversible, so you can see these grooves. You can flip it to this side or that side depending on your car. We'll get inside in just a minute. All right, now here are the controls. Now I just plugged it in, so it's really just sitting at 39 and 42, but what I have it at is I have the freezer side on at about 20, and then I put the fridge side on at 32. Reason being, this fluctuates about 5 degrees either way every once in a while, especially when you open it up or whatever. So having the fridge side, and they do have these little decals which are pretty cool right here. So fridge is the bigger one, freezer is the smaller one. So having the fridge side set at 32, yes, it might go down to like 30 or whatever, but it's not going to freeze it because it is going to fluctuate back up. And then say you're on the beach too and you need a little power, you got a USB plug there too. Has cup holders on the top here for you there as well. Last thing about the build is it has these awesome bumpers down here, so you can kind of bash it around. And the wheels, yeah, I gotta talk about the wheels. So the wheels are great. I've taken them on this gravel down here, on sand. You can see they're kind of gridded up. I got dirt back on the property. They're great. They're plastic. They're gonna hold up. I was a little worried about them being a little chintzy, but they call them off-road ones. Last but not least, of course, you got a bottle opener on the back here. All right, let's go inside. So the lid does have a lock, which I like because it can't be bumped and pushed up, but it goes all the way up, and on the top here you have a cutting board. Kind of think that's pretty sweet, being able to take that out and use it for something. Then you have your freezer side. Oh, of course it has lights too, LED lights, which I thought was really great when it got dark in the evening. Now you have your freezer side over here. This is a Camelback bottle, can't quite stay up. I can tell you, if you think of like Eggo waffles, I could fit 4 of them stacked sideways in here. So this is much bigger freezer section than you think. This is the coolest thing. When we got here, we just pulled these racks out, left the fridge in the car, and took them in to the cottage and just unloaded them in the fridge. So that's pretty nice. Now this side also has the rack. It is really, really big. You're gonna wanna think about what you're gonna wanna put on the bottom though, because we were making sure that our sandwiches and quick stuff were on the top, and the stuff that we were just bringing to the cottage would just be down on the bottom, and we'd not need it until we actually got here. Last thing in here is a plug down there. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, so that plug's really nice because you can take the plug out, open the door up, and let it really dry out like this, because you don't want any mildew in a fridge like this, especially if you're going to spend the money on it and it's going to be something that you're going to have for many years. The thing with this is that there's a lot of nice touches. You have the lighting on the inside, the racks to pull stuff out, cutting board. This flips around so you can go either way, multiple power systems. It's just a really great unit if you're going to be looking for traveling or using it in emergency as a backup fridge system with a power bank like I have it right now. If you have any questions, just hit me up in the comments. And like I said, a link to this is down below in the description. Till next time, take care.